at 27 years of age. XFC37, we have Andrew Mills making his way to the cage, and I'm joined in the commentary booth by a bit of a celebrity, one of my heroes, Matty Walton.
How are you?
Tell me a little bit about this fight that's coming up tonight.
Mate, I'm really excited for the fight. So Andrew Mills obviously fought for the title against Matt Bale. You'd have to say he probably won those first 2 or 3 rounds as well, so he looked impressive, but obviously Matt still came away with the belt. So, yeah, really excited for this fight. Andrew Mills is something special.
Yeah, he's got a tough fight in his thing tonight. He's the $2 underdog. What can you say about Neds? You like a bit of Neds yourself? You like a bit of a punt, Matty?
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's tricky with MMA, you know. They say anything can happen as well, but
and it has happened tonight.
It has happened, hasn't it? Crazy,
We've had it
unbelievable. David Chan.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, how unlucky is that kid? But yeah, Neds are massive supporters of ours as well. Anything we've asked of them, incredible to work with. And they do a lot of the work themselves as well. You know, they do all the research themselves, they get the numbers themselves. Yeah, incredible to work with. You got to support these guys and support MMA.
But tonight he's got a very, very tough opponent in Craig Callaghan. Integrated martial arts, 4-4 as a pro. They do not come much tougher than this guy.
I honestly believe that Craig Callaghan, on his day, could be one of the best welterweights in the country.
Well, I tell you this, you're a much better co-host than Wombat. The usual suspects in his corner, Blair Studley, Adrian Pang.
They've gone to another level again, introducing Blair and Nitro on a full-time basis. Their fighters are, like I saw Isaac Hardman the other day, and Isaac Hardman, he'd be the first person to say that in between fights he'd probably ballooned out to your mid-80s, your 90 kind of kilos. He's been out for a year. I went and looked at him at Nitro the other day, and he's never looked better.
And he's got a great beard.
He does.
Both boys have a great beard. Tonight it's going to be Battle of the Beards. So we've got a little State of Origin match tonight. We've got from Team Perosh from New South Wales versus Integrated Martial Arts in Stafford in Brisbane, in Queensland.
So what's been your pick for fight of the night so far?
Mate, there's so many. Why do you have to ask that quick? Ask me at the end of the night, I'll tell you. I was very impressed with the Martinez fight, the Thomas and Martinez. That lived up to everything I wanted. Mate, I knew that was going to be a tough fight. It just came down to a game of attrition in the end.
Yep.
Both boys were in deep water at one stage, but I'm very happy for Martinez. I'm very excited to see what you boys put in front of him next. I've got a few ideas what I'd like to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight number 40 this evening is a professional welterweight bout that will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 77.25 kilos and trains out of Team Perosh Martial Arts, holding a professional record of 6 wins and 3 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrew Mills. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 76.95 kilos and trains out of Integrated MMA with a professional record of 4 wins and 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Craig Callaghan. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Phil Cassidy.
About to go down. It was just pouring out there. Callaghan a little bit more composed, waiting to pick those shots.
I've got to give a shout out here to Brian Ebersol for making this match. This is a fantastic matchup. Craig, very, very crisp hands there working at Nitro Boxing and Integrated MMA.
This was put together for the fans. You know, the card was set. We had 15, 16 fights already. And yeah, Brian Ebersol reached out to me and said, we've got Andrew Mills, Anthony Prosh has reached out to me, do we want to put this fight together? And there's no way that when these two names are put in front of you that you say, you know what, let's move that to March. You know what?
We are stepping this up to another level tonight. We have been absolutely treated to premier MMA in this country.
And Andrew doing a good job here. Nice head position.
Callaghan just posting there. He can probably explode if he can kind of shift those hips and get back to his feet.
And this is a position that, you know, in training he's going to be put in, you know, time and time again at Integrated. So he's no stranger to this position, but probably doesn't want to stay here too long.
Yeah, Mills just using his body weight there too. So that Callaghan carry his body weight. And that's very taxing and it's tolling, and you're going to see that kind of come into the later rounds, hopefully, for Mills.
And what most people at home might know, Matt, but we're actually a purple belt as well in Jiu-Jitsu. So talk us through this position, mate. What should he be doing?
Yeah, I think he's just happy to hold the position here. You know, Andrew doesn't have to impress the home crowd here. He's got to go away with the win. So right now he's got that first hook in. Looks like he's trying to find that second hook. A really dominant position right now. Yeah, so if I was Andrew right now, I'm happy to hold this position right now. I don't care about if the fans are happy or not. Right now I'm winning this fight.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
But yeah, he will be in a bit of trouble if he can get that right leg, that second hook in. But yeah, Craig's pretty comfortable right here. There's no damage being done. He just needs to breathe a little bit and make sure he doesn't gas out.
And there's that right leg going across the belly there at Callaghan.
There we go, it's in now.
It looks like double hooks now.
Yeah, so Craig will have to do something here. He'll have to give up position, or he'll have to explode out here. But yeah, a very good position for Andrew to be in right now. But Craig's been here before.
Yeah, Callaghan can also go face down and try and buck. So
if you had 3 or 4 guys to be yelling at you from the corner to get out of this position, Craig's in the right spot.
And I'll tell you what, we've been littered with absolute, you know, UFC stars from pillar to post, from fight 1, and here we are, you know, in fight 12. We've got Anthony Parosh over there in Andrew's corner. He's barking out instructions at Team Parosh there. So
yeah, one of the OGs when it comes to the UFC.
You know, if you're thinking about, you've never seen a local show and you're thinking about coming down to one, tell you what, XFC is probably the one to come down and have a look at.
Not a bad place to rub shoulders with some great people.
We don't miss it, do we, mate?
We don't miss it.
Who do we have? We had Sol Palele.
There by Mills.
Sol Palele, Brendan O'Reilly was here. Kyle Noakes cornered.
Brian Ebersol, Anthony Parosh. Oh, nice knee lands there. This is great positioning work here from Ant.
Yeah, beautiful work by Mills here. He's just kind of controlling Callaghan and just landing some nice little knees. Like Matt said, he's not doing anything out of the order. He's not giving up position now. He's just being very smart. He's composed. He knows he's kind of winning this round, and he's being very smart in the way he's doing it. He's being very calculating in the way that he's predicting these rounds.
Don't worry about the timer that was put up. I believe there was a little bit of a mistake with a 3-minute timer there. This is obviously a professional fight. It's a 5-minute round.
Now watch for these elbows from top position from Mills. They're very slicing. He's using his weight very well here.
And this is Team Parosh 101. And a big shout out there to Anthony. He's just opened a new gym down there in Sydney. So
tell you what, these gyms are going to another level, aren't they? He was talking to me before on the way in. It's got a cafe. You know, the facilities that these fighters are getting now are unbelievable.
Yeah, second to none facilities. I'd like to see an oxygen bar maybe. That's where I'd go.
Yeah, so you need to go to King's Academy for that. He's got one down in there.
Oh, good Lord. I'm there. Sign me up.
Elvis Sinisek, g'day mate, how you doing? I'm sure he's watching too.
Another UFC OG.
Another UFC
Are we
guy.
just dropping
names
we name
dropping? I think we're name dropping.
We're name dropping.
Very reminiscent right now, Craig Callaghan, of the Glenn Pettigrew fight that he had. You know, he was grounded out by Glenn. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing how this fight evolves. You know, I'm interested to see what Adrian and Blair say in the corner. You know, you've been here with Glenn Pettigrew before. Where are you going to show the improvements?
Yeah, that's a good shout there, Matt, because, you know, and the one thing as well with Craig, he's such a good fighter. It's just putting it all together. He just needs to put it all together. And this is a fantastic test for him. You know, he doesn't get sent any duds. You know, he always comes up against the best of the best. And here he goes again up against Andrew. And I've got to say, I am also interested to see how he comes. I'm hoping he comes out here in the second round and he throws some leather.
Yeah, that's right. that first round, obviously, both of them had similar game plans. Andrew was able to get off. Andrew was able to implement his game plan first. Let's see if Craig can flip the switch.
Seconds out, round number 2. And if you've just joined us, hello from the commentary team. You have walked into an absolute barnstorming evening tonight.
Oh, it's been a fantastic night of fights. I mean, if you can't get up for an XFC, I don't know what you can get up for, because this is the premier Australian, and you know what? Everyone else they might describe, you know, they might say they're the better promotion or whatever, but I tell you what's not up for discussion, and that is the longest running promotion in Australia, and that's what XFC is. XFC37 coming into your hot. Craig Callaghan, Andrew Mills, what a fight.
Yeah, both boys playing this out here. I think Callaghan would like to keep this on the feet a little bit longer, but Mills won't have anything to do with that. He's using cage pressure very well right now. Secured that underhook, looking to transition down. He's got that leg. He's going to look to suck him out.
Oh, the chain wrestling there, that's off the charts. That's fantastic work there.
Mills just hasn't made a mistake all night.
No, very composed.
He's going from position to position to position and always staying in control of this fight.
Craig Callaghan, he's got his hands full tonight, but he's no stranger to this. He's been here before, so it'll be interesting what's in his bag of tricks.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this might not look like much, but if you're in there doing this, this is so taxing, and a bit of a precarious position here. He's got double hooks in now.
There is an opportunity for an armbar from Mills here if Craig keeps that arm out.
Mills just hanging in there with that left hook.
Craig's working hard here, but really wants to create some space.
Callaghan doing a good job of just fighting the hands there, stopping that body lock.
And you've got to give credit to Mills here. You know, Craig is such a high caliber wrestler. For Andrew to be sticking to him like glue here without, you know, any of Craig's reversals or mistakes, Andrew Mills just is.
Yeah, thus far he's really negated Callaghan's game.
And 2 seasoned pros, I mean, Craig's not doing too much wrong here.
That's right.
You know? He really is just getting swamped.
Again, right now, there he goes. He's got the 2 hooks in.
Both hooks in now.
He's going to try and flatten
He's
him
going
out.
to flatten him out like a pancake. And he's going to try and get that guillotine if he can get it. Get a rear naked choke.
So he's flattened out again.
Or is he just going to ride high and punch?
Sneaking that arm underneath.
I think he's trying to get it now. I don't know how deep it is. It's across the chin. Maybe snuck it in a little bit late there.
And in this position, Matt, you know, he spent, you know, a round and a half on bottom. What would you be yelling at him? What's he got to do from bottom here?
It's tough to give him directions from here because Andrew's been so tight. You know, so where do you go from here? I think someone just needs to yell out to Craig and say, how bad do you want it? You know, so Craig's a local favourite. Craig's, like I said, on any given day, Craig can beat any welterweight in the country.
100% he can.
But it's so tough. Here I'm being a hypocrite saying, how bad do you want it? But it's a whole different story when you've got someone like Andrew Mills on top of you. You could want it more than anything in the world when you've got someone like Andrew Mills that refuses to give you an inch. It doesn't matter how bad you want it.
Yeah, and he stays so heavy on top. This is obviously his game plan. He's looking to just sort of crush him here with top position, land some shots, not get stand up. I mean, Thomas hasn't looked at him once, really had a yak to him to say you're not doing enough, so he's clearly doing enough. Lands a nice little elbow there.
Yeah, Mills has just been clinical. He's put on an absolute workshop tonight.
So this is a measuring stick for Craig. You know, like I said, Craig on any given day could be one of the best welterweights in the country. Andrew's been at that level, so this is an incredible measuring stick to show Craig exactly where you're at.
And there's a big opportunity
So
here that, you know, he's got to be
stood
stand
him
up.
What has Callaghan got now? Can he dig deep? The Queenslander.
And sorry, Phil, I called you Thomas, but quite clearly that's Phil Cassidy in the corner. Thanks for letting me run that one, boys.
Thomas
wow,
Cassidy.
There we go. It's very interesting, you know. Craig landed a shot there, but he's chose to clinch, so...
A nice little knee earlier there from Mills. Using that cage pressure again.
I'll tell you what, one thing that's not a factor, lads, and that's conditioning. Look at these two boys. They look in absolutely fantastic shape.
Yeah, when you look at the judging criteria as well, you know, one of the criteria is octagon control, and Andrew's definitely had that throughout the entire fight.
Yeah, seconds out. And unfortunately for the Queenslander, looks like New South Wales have probably snuck that round as well. It's going to be a big effort from the Queenslander if he wants to pull this one out. As we come back for the final round, XFC37, Mills versus Callaghan. And it's been a tough one so far for the Queenslander. Mills, he's been perfectionist at this stage.
And you know what, if you're in Mills' corner, there's no instructions to give. I mean, it's much more of the same. But for Craig, he really needs to get a little bit of respect here and just really try and keep it on your feet and land some leather.
Yeah, look, he's got a great corner, Craig, and I'm sure they instructed him well.
Yeah, so you'd have to think he's probably down the first 2 rounds. He really needs to flick that switch now and, you know what, just go for broke.
And one thing Craig does have is a lot of power in his hands. So don't blink, ladies and gentlemen. He's really going to go for it, I feel.
Craig's probably one of the most professional fighters we've dealt with as well. So and one of the smartest as well. He's a really smart, really switched on guy. So he knows what he needs to do right now.
Unfortunately, though, he's just wound up back on that same position, and that's going to make it very tough. He's not going to win this fight in this position. He's got to scramble. He's got to move those hips. He's got to create space. He cannot stay in this position.
And he's doing everything right, you know. He's pushing down on the leg. He's trying to create that room. He's got his back up against the fence. Unfortunately, Andrew is just on top of his game.
Andrew right now using that forearm pressure. Watch for these slicing elbows that are about to come.
Obviously, this is a professional fight, so elbows are more than allowed.
I'm trying to think of a mistake that Andrew's made and a mistake that Craig's made.
Yeah, you're right, mate. I mean, they're both doing not too much wrong. It's just Millsy's come in here with a game plan. He's executed it perfectly, and at the moment it looks like to be his night, you know. But Craig's got 3 minutes to go. Like I said, if you get back to his feet, Craig's got awesome power in his hands. So
let's see if he's got some submissions here. You know, they've got a couple of triangles or an armbar there, but no. Once again, Andrew, no mistake.
And looking at Mills right now, there's little wonder why he did fight for that title, XFC28, when he did fight Matt Vale.
Like I said, I'm more than confident. I'd have to go back and look at the actual scorecards, but I'm pretty confident that Andrew did win those first 3 rounds before he was stopped by Nat. The difference is this is a 3-round fight. So Matt, you know, Andrew Mills dominated or did rather well in those first 3 rounds against Matt Vale. Here, he's not going to gas.
Yeah, and cardio was the issue in that fight. So, you know, this guy's been around the top for a long time. And Matt, I mean, you're the guy in the seat. I mean, you're the one who hands out, you know, tickets to the championship. I mean, this is a very impressive performance. Matt's just obviously gone over there to Japan and Pancrase. Nelly got the win, unfortunately had a loss, but he's going to be looking back, and he's probably going to be looking to defend his XFC belt again. I mean, he's 5 times champ.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a massive fan of Andrew Mills as well, and he's really impressed me watching this as well. This is a scary fight for Matt Bale to turn around and think that, you know, this guy's obviously learned from that one mistake. That being said, honestly, I think probably Theo Kostakis is probably next in line for Matt Bale. Or not almost, but you'd have to think that the top 2 welterweights in the country right now
I totally
are Matt
agree.
Bale and Theo.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's an absolute banging fight. But you know what? With a performance like this, he's knocking down the door.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, we spoke about it earlier. When you put a welterweight fight together for a main event, our goal now is going forward is to actually ring out to somebody and say, you are that next person. That if something were to happen, touch wood that it doesn't, but if something happens to this main event, you're stepping up. And right now, if we were to put Matt Bale versus Theo Kostakis for the title fight, the next text message I'm sending right now is, Andrew Mills, I need you to hover around that 80 kilo mark, because if worse comes, I might give you a call, a message come fight week or the week before to step up.
Well, that news has just given Wombat goosebumps. He's excited.
Oh, baby. It doesn't take me much to get up for a Matt Bale fight, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not the matchmaker, though. Talk to Brian Ebersole. He's the one that's going to pull
I'll have a little
string.
Hey, I give him a head and arm early. He'll do whatever I tell him.
He's a cheap drunk, that's for sure. Tough night for Craig Callaghan at the moment.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go, Benny.
Andrew Mills putting on an absolute clinic. And I tell you what, he looks fantastic on the ground. He's also got 7 years training in Muay Thai and on his feet. So he's got boxing experience as well, which he hasn't really had to show in this fight yet.
Now, in a fight like this can be a little bit disappointing, you know, because you walk out of the cage and you know, not too much damage has been done. But, you know, it's been a very, very dominant performance here from Andrew Mills. Craig, you know, I can't wait to see this guy fight again. I mean, he's a banging fight no matter what. You know, you can throw him up against anyone, but Andrew, for me, has taken that quite easily. And, you know, he's really shown his class there, hasn't he?
Yeah, one of Queensland's true warriors in Craig Callaghan, but you can see it written all over his face. He knows it's been a tough night tonight for him, and unfortunately he's going to live and learn. But tonight, I don't think will be Craig Callaghan's night.
And one thing that I've got to say before we switch off here on this fight is it's been an absolute pleasure commentating with the promoter, Matt Walton. I mean, we don't get to really talk to him much during the night. He's run around like a blue-ass fly. But, mate, another fantastic night. Let me tell you, what's next for XFC? I mean, the last fight card was probably the fight card of the year. This one's nudging it. But, you know, what's next for XFC, brother?
Yeah, so we headed back to New Zealand in December. And then the first show back in Australia is March 2nd. A couple of conversations we've had with people tonight. You know, we might be talking an Asian type country as well. So we've got some pretty cool options going forward.
So ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored about 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Andrew Mills.
I love you, Lila. I love you, Nina.